Okay, so I wanted to produce a little, well, it's going to be quite long actually, you know how these things are, but review of all the absurd number of additional content packs that we have now for The Sims 4. And the reason being is that there are a lot of review videos out there, and they are often very good, and I found them very informative. The problem is they're usually produced by EA Game Changers, which means that they tend to be made before the pack has even come out, with a preview copy that they've seen, and obviously they want to get the review out as soon as possible so that it's ready for when the pack comes out to help people know if they're going to buy it or not. But the problem with that is that it's difficult to judge the long-term gameplay value of a pack when you only played it for a day or so. And I think most people would agree that sometimes your opinion of packs can really change. You can really like them at first and then decide, actually, this is boring. And vice versa. Sometimes the ones that you don't initially like grow on you. And at any given time, there are still new people who are going to, coming to the game and being overwhelmed by the amount of content and thinking, oh my god, what should I actually buy? So I'm assuming with this that, yeah, you're either relatively new to the game, or you simply have been umming and ahhing about buying certain packs. I know I only bought a couple at first when there was a sale on, and then I didn't buy any for a long time. Obviously, I'm not one of those people who just thinks, well, I have to get every single one. I'll only get one if I decide that it has enough stuff in it that I actually want. For this reason, I don't have every single pack, so I'm only going to be talking about in depth about the ones I do have, but I do now have all but 2 of the expansion packs and all but 2 of the game packs, so I do have most of them, so I will do most of them. With the ones that I don't have, obviously, I'm going to explain why I don't have them and why I don't personally think they're very good, but I'll try and bring out the good points as well. Obviously, any review is always going to be subjective, so I'm going to try and be as objective as possible. I will give my opinions of the packs, but yeah, I'm just going to try and include as much information as possible, but focusing mainly on how it works over the long term, whether it's worth getting them or not. Now, I should say before we get started, for the benefit of anyone who is very new to the game, and you may be wondering why there are 3 different kinds of DLC, additional content, that you can get. In theory, the expansion packs add a significant amount of additional gameplay to your game. So these are the things that will influence the way that you play the game in every game. They'll also include a new world for your Sims to live in, and a range of other additional content like new aspirations, new traits, new skills, and so on, as well as obviously a lot of new cast and build by items. Now, game packs tend to focus on a very specific area, adding one specific thing to your game. So it could be like a new occult sim like vampires or realm of magic, but it could also be something like camping. So outdoor retreat is very much focused on camping, and you have a destination world to send your Sims camping in. They will also generally include a new world, although it might be smaller. And they'll include some of that additional content from expansion packs, but maybe not as much. Stuff packs are what they say they are. They contain stuff. So that's cast items, build by items. However, this is theory. Because in reality, none of those things are actually rules, and they've all been broken at some point by some pack or other. So, the really important difference between the 3 packs is that expansion packs are £35, game packs are £18, and stuff packs are £10. So bear that in mind when you're deciding whether you want something or not, because that's the most important difference between them, in my opinion. Okay, so as I'm going through talking about these packs, I'm also going to mention some various mods and custom content that I think you should also look into, because in many cases there are major flaws with packs, or just major things that just should have been included and weren't, but there's a mod out there that includes it. So apologies to anyone who's a console player, I realise you don't have mods, but for PC players, definitely look into this, because I avoided using mods for ages because I didn't like the way it always tells you, you know, this could ruin your game, don't use them kind of thing. And I just didn't really like it. But I started to get horrendously bored with the game, and I realised, actually, when you add mods in, they're so much better. Many of them are really, really well done. You honestly, they integrate so well into the base game, you don't even know that they are mods. You forget, and you think, oh, this was a really good thing that came with this pack, and then you realise, no, it didn't, actually did it. Yeah, I actually thought that with the Get to Work one. We'll get to that. So yeah, definitely look into that, because sometimes the major things that are missing, you can get them. So don't just dismiss that, you know, just because it's a mod. Definitely consider it. And it's free, which is nice. So I'm going to start off with stuff packs, simply because that is the easiest one to decide whether you want it or not, because essentially, although stuff packs do also contain other things sometimes, and we will talk about that, generally it boils down to, do you like the stuff or not? So if you don't get them. Because that's what it is. Because this video will get far too long otherwise, I will then game packs and expansion packs we will talk about in subsequent videos. Okay, so but they will be released within the next few days or so. Without further ado, let us get on. As I said, stuff packs I think are probably the easiest one to decide whether you want them or not, based on what you think of the stuff. So for most of these, obviously, just going to show you, here's the CAS items, build buy items. CAS items, obviously we're just going to go through all the swatches on a random sim, and I will plonk the build buy items onto a lawn for you to see them. So yeah, obviously you don't need my opinion, you judge for yourself, so you can just have a look at those. I'm just going to talk about what other things you get with each one, and the number of things I have noted just out of interest. So Luxury Party, obviously the first one, so I'm just going to go through in order again. So here are your 41 CAS items. Build by items. If this looks like I've forgotten some, I haven't. There are just 12 of them. also said that despite the name, Luxury Party does not, as far as I can tell, come with any new party types. I thought it might have done, but can't see any evidence of it. Perfect patio, that trend is reversed. Here are all 12 of your... I mean, yeah, okay, it's off for a patio, yeah, I get it. One of the big selling points about the Perfect Patio was that it did contain hot tubs, but they were then released in a free base game update. You had one. So if you really like them, you will get more different ones in this pack, but so here is a cool kitchen. No, I don't have, so again we're just flicking through here. You do get an ice cream maker with this, so if you do really like ice cream, something to bear in mind. Hey, here's spooky stuff. one that it's very clearly matched to a theme, so I think it really depends how you feel about having Halloween parties. Other little things you do get with this, obviously you do get a pumpkin carving table, that will build up your handiness skill and allows you to make some pumpkins. You also do get a new party type with this, so you can have a spooky party, everyone can come dressed up in their best Halloween costumes. Okay, movie hangout stuff. Again, I thought you might actually get a movie hangout social event with this. I know there's a mod that gives you this. I can't actually see any evidence that this pack does, strangely enough. A romantic garden. Again, pretty little items. But, one thing you do get with this, adds a little bit of gameplay, is a wishing well. And that obviously allows you to toss a coin in and get a wish. Now, I think it's something to do with your Sims mood. The better mood they're in, the better the chance of success. Don't quote me on that. Suffice to say, they can get some quite spectacular wishes granted, but they can also have the opposite effect. So if you wish for a lot of money, you may end up very poor. And there's one about, it's terrible, I do actually own this pack and I haven't actually tried this yet. There's one about, when I do the gameplay video, I'll have a look into that, but there's one about, I haven't done it yet, there's one about wishing for, it's not eternal life, is it, but it's like reset your life state or something, but then if that one goes wrong you end up dead. So yeah, be aware of that. Okay, kids' room stuff. That, in terms of gameplay, it adds a little void critters for you, so you can buy void critters packs. It's basically Pokemon. You may have seen allusions to void critters in the base game, or if you have My First Pet, one of the things you can get, a little rodent, is actually like a void critter, but yep, they can then trade them and play them on a little game. They battle them against each other. Like I said, it's Pokemon basically, but so that's a fun little thing that adds.
backyard stuff that adds little. Some of the things there again have a little bit of functionality. The little bird feeder, if you put some seed in it, you will get some pretty little birds you can come and watch. The slides, that little fun, you can go on a little water slide, as you do. Hey, vintage glamour. The little globe thing is quite fun. You can open it up and get drinks out of it. Although, be aware that just like any other bar, as soon as you put it on your lock, your sim will continually make themselves drinks, even though they don't want them, and they have no money, but that won't stop them. So, another cool little bit of gameplay. Vintage glamour does come with a butler. So, if you remember, that was back in the original Sims game, wasn't it? Because some sort of like, you know, the Superstar one, wasn't it? I'm sure that came with a butler. Butlers can be fun little NPCs if you like, because they don't do what they're told. Bowling night. Again, not surprisingly, it adds, well, you know, it's all the sort of stuff to go bowling in. This does in fact come with a new skill, which is bowling. I can't remember if it actually comes with any bowling. Does it come with existing bowling alleys? Because when I was, you know, for this, I looked up all the kind of details to make sure I was reminding myself, you know, getting this correct myself, what each one came with, and it didn't say anything about it coming with one, but otherwise, where do you go bowling? I mean, you can build your own, like that, because it does come with stuff. I just thought it might come with an existing one, but maybe there's one in the gallery that you can get. So what do we get then? Fitness stuff comes with fitness stuff. I'm less than enthusiastic about some of these stuff packs, just because I feel like if you habitually use custom content, then they're not adding anything for you. This does add these earbuds, which is not something I've ever wanted, because I cannot imagine anything more irritating than those pop-ups continually coming up offering you free earbuds. But what they do is they make your sim basically permanently happy if they have them in, so that's possibly useful. Toddler stuff. Created the infamous ball pit that everyone so hates. But obviously that adds more stuff for the chronically underrepresented toddlers. Oh, it also adds the option to go on play dates, so you can take your toddlers off to those little places if you do. It does add a lot of sort of climbing frames and outdoor stuff, so you could now make a sort of toddler fun park and then have a play date there, so that's quite a nice thing that would add. Okay, next one we have is Laundry Day. This is apparently a community voted pack, which I'm told is very popular. And this introduces the laundry system. Now, I do not have this pack, so I can't show you in action, but essentially it allows you to do your laundry. I cannot personally think of anything more boring than doing laundry, which is why I do not have this pack, but each to their own. I know a lot of people really like this pack, so if doing laundry is your thing, then this is the pack for you. Then we have my first pair. Clearly I'm a very contrary Sims player, because this is the one everybody hated, and I really like this, but... well, I say I really like it. I 100% agree with the criticism. It's basically, it is an add-on to the Cats and Dogs. I have absolutely no idea why it was not in Cats and Dogs, and if you look at some of the cast and the Bill Buy items, that is so blatant in that it actually contains other parts of the same furniture set. Things that literally... it's part of the same set that was in Cats and Dogs. Why the hell was it not in Cats and Dogs? And then it contains more outfits for your cats and dogs, well, identical to the ones in Cats and Dogs, and it can, I mean, it just in every way it's an upgrade to Cats and Dogs, but it does then contain the 4 little rodents as well, which I have to say I would have liked if they'd done a little bit more to make them individual personalities, because they're all exactly the same as each other. However, they are cute, they are funny. I mean, yeah, okay, I can see why people might be a bit unimpressed, but I just think it's funny when they blast off into space, or you get notifications they've been, you know, want of a nuclear explosion in their cage. I just find it funny. And they go off on little explorations and bring you back postcards, and then later, when they've invented rockets, they will go off exploring space, and they will bring you back little space collectibles, you know, space rocks and things, some of which are bloody huge. I wonder how the hell do a hamster carry that? Hey, so, it's just sweet, and you also get a particularly entertaining new death, which is rabid rodent fever, which is one of my favourite deaths. And when that occurs, if your rodent's cage gets dirty, and then one of your Sims that doesn't have a particularly good relationship with said rodent, because obviously you can talk to them and, you know, discuss life and everything with them, and that's how you build up your relationship with them. You can pet them and give them treats and so on, but if a Sim with a bad relationship tries to pet a rodent in a dirty cage, then it will bite them, and they may then contract rabid rodent fever. And they can either buy a cure on the computer, or is the option to research it on the computer. I'm not sure if you have to research it before you buy the cure, or you can just buy the cure. If you don't do that, they will start foaming at the mouth, and they will become contagious, so they will pass it on to other Sims, and eventually they will... they will die in quite an amusing fashion, and what I rather like as well is their ghost will return wearing a hamster costume. Yeah. It's the little things, you know? Okay, Moschino stuff. This adds a new branch to the freelancer career of fashion photography. There's that. Tiny living. Now, by this point, the stuff packs start getting a bit confusing, because originally they were very much just stuff. Basically, they're a pack of stuff that you could have got for free if you use custom content. So there wasn't really, and I feel that maybe that's why that they're including these gameplay elements with them, because I do feel like, you know, maybe people were starting to think, well, why am I paying for this? Because by Tiny Living, we also get an entertaining new Death by Murphy bed. Now, this is another one of these packs. I haven't actually got it, but I am intending to get it at some point. So I may get it before I do the bit of this video, I'm not sure. So I'll be able to show you. But otherwise, but you also get a whole new lot assignment. So that's not just a trait, but actual assignment. So if you've got your residential home and you click on the residential, you've now got tiny home, you know. So it's tiny home residential. And this will provide various skill boosts and things. Obviously it does also limit you, that you now have a certain limit of how big your home can be. So it's all kind of within the kind of tiny home movement, it kind of fits in with that. So that does add quite a bit to your gameplay. And that is also the case with the stuff pack. Nifty Knitting, obviously, as the skill of knitting. It also gives you an aspiration to be Lord or Lady of the Knits, which I have to say I have found a few bugs in, but nonetheless it's a. And it also obviously gives you the sort of online selling Etsy option known as Plopsy. This is rather fun. So if you knitted something, you'll go into a Sims inventory and you can then click on list on Plopsy and you pay 5 simoleons, and then someone can buy it, and once they buy it you go to the mailbox and send it off to them. So that's another way of earning money. And as I mentioned, well, no, actually, you're right, I'm doing the stuff pack video before I do this bit. So as you will hear about when I get onto expansion packs, this integrates quite well with the thing. So if you do get Eco Lifestyle, your handmade items that you make there, you can also list on Plopsy. So so I like the way that they do integrate. And Plopsy has a cute rabbit as well, which I rather like. So, and yeah, and Nifty Knitting does therefore contain quite a lot of fun knitted items and things which you can create. as I say, these stuff packs started getting more and more fleshed out, it seems to me. Tiny Living added quite a lot of kind of gameplay value, and then Nifty Knitting, I think it's a stuff pack, but there's quite a lot of gameplay coming into that. It's not just stuff. And then of course, when I'm at the time when I'm recording this, the Paranormal stuff pack's only just come out, and I have not got it yet. I will definitely be getting it, because when I saw it, I thought, oh, now that is one that I thought I might even get that when it's on full price, but I've got every single one I've ever got. I've got on half price sale. Yeah, part of the reason that is that I resent the fact that it costs $10. Obviously, you know, it's made in America, so that's the problem. But then they can't be bothered to do a currency exchange, so it costs £10 as well. Well, so yeah, I'm just miffed about the fact that, oh, so we have to pay more. Why? I just object to that. And a lot of people, you'll hear them talking about, like, oh, you know, yeah, I think this pack's probably worth $10. It's like, yeah, maybe it is. Is it worth £10 though? So, yeah, and on the subject of things being worth their price, it's something at the end of this video I am going to do a quick rundown of personally whether I think these packs are worth paying the price for, but I'm going to come to that at the end. But yes, Paranormal stuff, obviously I can't comment on in detail, so I don't have it yet, but it definitely did look like one of those that, okay, that's actually interesting. It's definitely not just stuff, it does have some stuff, but it also adds, again, it's adding a whole new residential lot assignment for you of Haunted House, and that seems to come with a great deal of gameplay. You get your new career, your paranormal investigator, you get all your fun spooky things and whatever. So, I mean, obviously, if Halloween type shenanigans are not your thing, then maybe not for you, but the whole kind of Ghostbuster element of it did look a lot of fun. I mean, like all things in The Sims, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be great for long-term gameplay or anything, it's not going to, that the charm's not going to wear off, but it definitely looked a step in the right direction, so I was very happy about that. Okay, apologies if you can hear the rain sound effects in the background. Just as I'm about to start recording, it starts pouring with rain. Helpful. But yeah, it is spring. So, for those of you who are still... Thank you. For those of you who are still watching, thank you. I am aware that this has become a very long video, but I wanted to cover the packs in as comprehensive detail as was possible, so that you can make an informed decision on whether you want them. And for stuff packs, I think it's quite important to look at the stuff in some detail, because that for the earlier ones, that is what they are. Obviously, as I said, you know, I don't own every single one, so obviously I could show them to you. We're getting on to game packs next, which I do own all but 2 of, so we may have split that over 2 videos, and I do now have all of the expansion packs, but we'll be mostly looking at gameplay with those. I will show you the stuff briefly, but we'll put it on fast forward, I think, because it's going to be quite a lot otherwise. So yeah, that will be split over the next few videos, and then when we get right to the end, I am going to do a summary of all of the packs, just going through whether I think they're worth the money, basically. But at the end of this video, I just want to quickly summarise the stuff packs, because if you remember, if you can remember that far back to the beginning of the video, I said what I was mainly focusing with this is reviews of the packs in terms of whether they really add a decent amount of kind of long-term gameplay. Now that's a bit hard with stuff packs, because originally I felt like that wasn't the point of stuff packs, they were just stuff. And they did used to be, I'm assuming they were still the same price in the US, but in the UK they did actually used to be cheaper. Apparently they were $7.99 at first, and they're $9.99 now, so I don't know at what point they changed that, but a bit weird. But now, anyway, they seem to now come with more and more gameplay and stuff packs, and then they've got these kits, some of which are just stuff, as if they're kind of replacing that. It's all a bit weird, but hey. Let's not try and fathom what EA are up to. So, some of the stuff packs obviously really don't contain much in the way of gameplay, but you could argue they still add to your gameplay in the sense that if you've got more things for your Sims to wear, more things to put in their houses, then it's expanding your gameplay. That's kind of the way we can add, but it is a bit difficult to compare stuff packs with each other, even, because you have the older ones and the newer ones, very, very different. Okay, so I'm just going to run through these with a quick summary of the value that they're going to add to your game. So, with Luxury Party, this, like so many of them, I feel like one of the main problems with stuff packs really is the narrow, they are way too narrowly focused. This contains some quite nice outfits. I actually like some of the outfits, but would you usually wear them outside of a party? I mean, one of the outfits you give your Sims is a party outfit, so maybe it's nice to have some more. But in terms of the real buy stuff, it just isn't. I mean, it's just a bit at a party. Personally, I find parties are just, you don't even go there in the Sims. So I never ever have a party. I just never ever have a party. So I don't think I've ever used any of the real buy items. The only reason I have this pack at all is because it was very soon after I got the game, actually. They had a half-price sale on, and sometimes they include bundles, or sometimes they don't include bundles when they have a half-price sale, but sometimes they do. They have these particular set bundles that you can get, and sometimes when it's a half-price sale, they're further discounted. And they had one of these bundles, and it included an expansion pack and a game pack that I was about to get, and I was about to buy them, and then I realised, oh, actually they're in that set bundle with Luxury Party. So that by getting the bundle, it was only, I think, like a couple of quid extra. So in other words, you were getting Luxury Party for a couple of quid. And I was like, okay, so there's some pretty dresses, what the hell. I didn't use CC at that in those days, so I wanted more cast things, so it kind of made sense. That's the only reason I got this pack. I would never have bought it like on its own, like, oh yeah, I want that. I mean, now that I tend to use a lot of CC, I probably wouldn't even pay £2 for it, to be honest. Just because I don't feel like it adds anything that you couldn't have got for free if you use CC. And what's my cat mewing about? Oh, I don't know. My parents are dealing with it. Right. He mews a lot. Surprised to say. So yeah, I would say if you are looking for more party wear for your Sims, if you do have a lot of parties, there may well be some value in this for you. You know, some of the real buy items are slightly functional. You know, you can put lots of things on that banquet table, that's what it's for, you put lots of dishes on it. But that's about it. Now, perfect patio stuff, obviously, I do not have. The reason being that, if you may have noticed, it only contained like 12 cast items. Everything else is for building, and I do not do that in The Sims. Ever. I just don't. I don't build houses at all. I make a box and I stick my Sims in it. I don't even bother to decorate it. I might stick some wallpaper up if I'm feeling generous, but that's because I don't know how, and I can't be bothered to find out. We all probably go in different ways. So if you are looking to make more interesting patios for your Sims, then you'll probably get some value out of this. But for me, it was pointless, because there was nothing particularly striking in the cast album. That's the only things I'd use. I've never built a patio for my Sims, and I'm not likely to. So what on earth would be the point of having this pack? That's why I don't have it. I couldn't see that it added any great sort of value to your gameplay. As I say, when it was released, there was the whole thing about, oh, you get a hot tub if you're into that. But there's one in the base game now anyway, so yeah. The same with cool kitchen. Again, well, why do I want to decorate my kitchen? I can't be bothered. I just bunging any old thing in it. There you go. It now works. I don't bother to design it. I just stick a fridge and a counter and an oven in, and there we go. As I said, this does have the ice cream maker in it, which might be quite fun, but again, it's one that if you're more of a builder, you probably get more value out of. Now, spooky stuff, obviously I have this pack because I adore Halloween and I love the whole aesthetic of it. I thought it was so much fun, and it really, really complements well if you've got the more, I don't know, almost more like serious kind of gothic aesthetic you've got in vampires, and then there's a kind of there's some magic-y bits in Realm of Magic, obviously. Then if you've got spooky stuff, it's more the fun spooky stuff, if that makes sense. The kind of comedy element of Halloween. So I feel like you mix them all together and you can have a lot of fun with that. And yeah, I do have fun scaring my Sims with the candy bowl. Some of them will get scared from it. They used to get tense, but they never get scared. And some of them will just be happy because they're scared. Yeah, don't ask. But you can be quite amusing with that and have them. I like having them carve pumpkins. But obviously, in terms of long-term gameplay, I use it a lot because I like decorating my house with ghost wallpaper because I think it's funny. But if you're not into that, then it's not going to add much for you. Movie hangout stuff. I haven't got this pack simply because why would I want my Sims to watch a movie? I just think that's so boring because then they're just going to be... But I mean, I can't actually say that it particularly is associated with you doing that. That I can... There's a mod that allows you to have your Sims have a movie night. You don't need this pack for it. I don't know, I'm assuming it has something to do with it, but I couldn't really find that it did. I actually like the aesthetic. I was looking at all the kind of the furniture and stuff that you do get with it, which I'm not sure what that has to do with a movie hangout. Bit weird, but I like the aesthetic of it. But I'm not going to buy something just because I like the furniture, because I could get CC furniture. Romantic Garden, again, this is one I just got as part of a preset bundle, which is why I ended up getting it. Like I said, I never bother with like building stuff. I really want to, because in real life I love gardening. I'm out in the garden all the bleeding time. Well, not when it's like this, but normally I am. So I would really love to create a gorgeous garden for my Sims. I just never can be bothered to do it. The wishing well though is quite fun. Although I've not actually managed to kill my Sims with it. I've had a go with it now, and they seem to get every bleeding wish, so I don't know why that is. But never mind, I'm working on it. So yeah, again, it's something, if you like building gardens, this will probably expand your gameplay. Not sure how much it will otherwise. Kids' room stuff, I end up getting because... I don't know why, because I hate kids in real life, but I usually have kids in my Sims families because... I don't know. I'm just a control freak. I like controlling their lives or something. I don't know. I just find that fun if you start them younger, because then you can like tick every box, fulfill every aspiration, turn them into... Yeah, I'm just weird like that. But I did feel like there wasn't enough stuff to decorate kids' rooms, really. But as the name suggests, it's kids' room stuff. It's not even kids' stuff. As you saw, yes, there are some cast items, but I do feel like they could have done some more. I mean, with all of these, they could have done so much more with them. I mean, you look at Luxury Party, it has some nice dresses, but why does it not have a single party? There's not a single thing for children, is there? Oh, come on. Come on, party frock or something, you know. And obviously toddlers ignored by pretty much every one. I mean, back when these early ones came out, they weren't even in the game, were they? But yeah, like all these things, I feel like they're a little bit too focused. So again, you know, obviously kids' room stuff, oh, it's just stuff for kids. And there's not much cast items. And the problem I found with the kids' room stuff as well was, if you look at it, at least half the stuff, if not more, is like wall decals, you know, things to stick on your kids' walls. Well, that's nice. Personally though, I always play with like the walls down, so I never see those things anyway. So, yes, I think if you play with, you know, the kids a lot, obviously you might want more to keep them entertained. And there's some nice little things in there, little void critters, and puppet show, and so on. But again, I really feel that could have been extended a little bit. We could have done a bit more with that. Backyard stuff. I must say, I like the little bird feeder, because I like having more animals in my game. I think it looks cute. The slides I do think are fun. I must admit. Did make me laugh when you add soap to them and they walk along like huge marshmallow men. But, you know, like all these things, the charm will wear off eventually, because you're just going to do the same animation over and over again. Nonetheless, again, if you want more kind of outdoorsy stuff for your Sims, there you go. Vintage glamour. It's a bit of an odd one with that, because I feel like that's actually quite a wide category, because like some of them are so narrow you could do a lot with that, because what's vintage? I mean, that could be anything. There's so many time periods that you could have called vintage, and I feel like it's a bit dull. There are some nice things in it, but I just feel like it's very sort of, there's a kind of 1920s Art Deco, very black and white sort of look to the furniture, and oh, it's nice, but that's it. Couldn't we have had a few more and a few more outfits? You know, just expanded that a bit. Would have been nice. But it is nice stuff. It's a bit different from some of the other things you get, and obviously it does add in that butler option. Obviously you do have a maid in the base game. If you get paranormal activity, you get paranormal as well. So, you know, there's a bit of duplication going on here, so it depends how much you really want the sort of individual things. In contrast to that, with the potentially wide thing, we then get a bowling night. Now, I mean, that is so specific. And I feel like, although again, this is one I do have, but again, it was only because it was part of a preset bundle. So I paid a couple of quid for it, essentially. Because I was like, okay, for that, yeah, what the hell. Gives another activity for my Sims to do. And I like the way that it comes with an actual skill, because I think that is quite nice. Just because I like having more skills in the game. A bit more something to do that you can set yourself as sort of, right, whatever. However, yeah, it is so precise. I mean, I don't think any of that Bill Buy stuff you would put in your home unless you were a bowling fanatic. You know? It's for decorating a bowling alley. And yeah, the cast stuff, I mean, I don't know, is that what people wear to go bowling? I mean, there were definitely like bowling shoes and like the little glove that serious bowling people probably wear. I don't know any, but otherwise it was just sort of, okay, there's some t-shirts and stuff. Okay, that must be what people wear to go bowling. Okay, I don't know. So maybe, you know, if you like those things, fine. But I feel like this is the sort of thing that could probably expand your game in quite a good way if you're very into bowling, but if not, it's a bit specialised. With fitness stuff, I know a lot of people are very keen on the earbuds and everything, so if that floats your boat, fine. Personally, the reason I don't have it is because I'm just not very into that, and I feel like, you know, there's a sportswear category, you know, when you're in CAS, it comes with a load of base game fitness wear, so why do I need more? And it's not getting interrupted. So, toddler stuff is one of those ones that I feel like EA have almost kind of forced you into buying, which is a bit annoying. The only reason I got this was because, I think again it was back in the days when I didn't use CC as well, actually. But even with CC, because I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's because there is so little in the base game for toddlers. I think that makes it more difficult, even for CC creators to create toddler stuff, because they often don't do it a lot as well, and I feel like, well, surely they should do. But I'm thinking that's probably why it's quite hard even then to get stuff for toddlers. So you kind of end up having to get that, simply because, I mean, it was when I started doing one of the challenges, doing like 100 baby challenge or something, and I got so sick of seeing the same flipping outfits generated over and over again. My bloody toddlers, I was getting them all muddled up, so they all look flipping insane. With their, you know, same 5 haircuts being recycled and whatever. So, so you kind of feel like you need this pack just so that you have something for toddlers. And yes, it does obviously come, so you get some more outfits, great. Still though, yeah, I feel like since toddlers were so neglected in the game, so you've given them a whole stuff pack, there is nothing in this pack for, you know, adults, kids, at all, just toddlers. So, yeah, I feel like you could have done a bit more with it. You could have had more, because it's one of the smaller stuff packs. And considering how neglected toddlers were, come on, we could have had some more. So, so yeah, if you're getting very bored with toddlers, not and stuff for them, you're probably going to need to get this pack. It's probably the only way you're going to address that, but yeah. Personally, I do think there could have been more of it. It's just my opinion. So laundry day stuff, I talked about this earlier. The laundry system is something that a lot of Sims players like, so look into that. That is something that appeals to you. It doesn't appeal to me, so I don't have it. I've also found it can be quite annoying if you do have Get Famous, for example, and you try and do one of those fashion reviews where the Sim changes their outfit every time. Every time they change their outfit, it goes into the laundry. So now you have a full load of laundry just from doing a video. My first pet, obviously, again I kind of talked about this one, really. You obviously wouldn't presumably consider getting it if you don't have cats and dogs, so that's kind of decided before you start. The idea of having an expansion pack to an expansion pack is a bit offensive. And it does have a lot of items which are very nice. I like the really cute little furniture items. I always use them in my game, but I use, obviously some of them, well actually most of them come out of the cats and dogs, and then the rest of them are in my first pet, and you think, why? There's the same furniture set, why is a bit of it in another pack? That's absurd. But I do like your 4 little rodents. They do add some more fun to your game. But that really depends how you feel about it. Yeah, it's sunny here. Okay, so mosquito stuff. Again, one I don't have. The reason being, I'm not really a fan of these brand collaborations. I understand this is some kind of fashion brand or something, I'm told. Never heard of it. And didn't particularly care for the stuff. I do like that it expands your photography skill, if you like. You know, if I was the sort of person who wanted to actually kind of recreate my own home in The Sims, which I know a lot of people do, I'd have to get this pack, because we have a photography studio at the end of the garden, but yeah, I don't want to do that. So, so yeah, I don't have this, and I do like the way as well, it does add a new career, which I think is nice. Well, it's a new, you know, branch for the freelancer career. I like that, but personally, it's not a big selling point for me, because I have like 1,000,001 careers in The Sims, because I use modded careers. So I'm spoiled for choice when it comes to careers anyway, so I'm not going to pay to have one extra one. What's Grace doing? Probably looking for those nuts I put out there. Anyway, but yeah, if you're a particular fan of that brand, you might like it. Also, as I say, it does expand your kind of photography abilities. Tiny living stuff, as I said, this does add quite a lot of gameplay. It's not a pack I have because I wasn't a fan of it for a long time, and I'm kind of, it's one of those I'm coming round to and thinking I actually might probably get it. So do look into that. Nifty knitting, I would say, well, that if you're into crafts, which obviously I am, then you definitely want to get this pack. It is a shame it is just knitting. I would have liked to see them expand that a little bit, particularly when they give you these craft cupboards with all these other stuff that actually looks a bit like my real life craft cupboard. And it's set dressing. None of it is functional, which is a bit of a shame. I wish they'd turned it into a proper game pack and just done all the crafts. And, you know, because you are just knitting. Nonetheless, there is enough there that if that in any way appeals, yeah, it's done well, so you probably want to get it. And then we get on to paranormal stuff, which obviously I have not had a chance to play myself yet, but again, there's a lot of gameplay going on there. So definitely have a look at some of the reviews that have come out recently about that. And I will see you in the next video where we're going to go on to game packs, where we can talk more about the actual gameplay of them. So, ta-da for now. Okay, so just a little update. So obviously to date that is all the stuff packs that have come out. Just as I finishing off doing this video, they've announced today about these kits that are going to be coming out. So we're going to have an even smaller than stuff pack thing, priced at half the price of the stuff packs, and they are weird, frankly. Obviously there's a lot of hype on the internet at the moment about them, so I'm sure we will hear about them. But yeah, essentially you're going to have ones where you either have CAS or you have build buy items or you have some gameplay. Personally, I do not see the point of having... So, I mean, this has always been my criticism of stuff packs, is that if they do just contain stuff, I could get that on CC and it's often better. So why would I want to just have stuff? In terms of looking at these items, I mean, the fitness one I have absolutely no interest in. I don't even have the fitness stuff pack because I have no interest in fitness stuff. So yeah, I'm not even going to comment on that because of why. There's a kitchen one. What's it called? Country kitchen or something? I mean, looking at it, I think, oh, do you know what? That looks really nice. And if I came across that, if I was going like custom content shopping, and I was looking at that and I came across that, and I'd be straight away downloading it because I think, oh, that's really gorgeous. You know, I like it. So if it was free, yeah, I'd be getting it. But you want me to pay for that? You pay a $5 for something that... I'm sure if you look hard enough, there's CC out there that's the same. I can get some flowery kitchen clutter anytime I want. So, yeah. I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe if you're on console or something and you can't use CC, maybe you'd feel differently about it, but I just don't see the point of asking people to pay for that kind of thing. The only one that I would consider paying for is the Best of Dust one. I think that's a lot of people are saying that. It contains a surprising amount of gameplay, considering the price tag, you know. But really, it's, you know, a stuff pack would have CAS, build buy and gameplay. So in a sense, you know, you're giving half the price of the stuff pack, but it's a third of the content. I mean, it used to be the fact that your CAS pack, stuff packs often were just CAS and build buy, so then fair enough, it's half of it, but it's not now. They seem to be coming with gameplay, and the Best of Dust kit, it seems totally like the amount of gameplay that you've been getting lately with stuff packs. So it doesn't seem quite right, but then because it doesn't come with any CAS or really any build buy items. It comes with some vacuum cleaners, but that doesn't really count because that's part of the gameplay. And it allows, you know, dust to build up around your home and adds a new element to sort of cleaning and so on. It has a couple of new aspirations, and the dust bunnies I do think are super cute. And I'm glad that you can keep them in your home, you don't have to vacuum them up, because when I first saw it I thought, well, I ain't getting that if you expect me to vacuum up bunny rabbits, you're having a laugh. You don't have to vacuum them up, they can stay in your home. In fact, you can make them like permanent pets, so I like that. So yeah, I may get that at some point, but I really don't approve of the whole concept, I have to say. Just because it's serious dilution of stuff, and I mean, I would never pay for CAS or build buy items when you can get them for free and custom content. But yeah, I mean, with the gameplay stuff, yeah, okay, fine. But why does it have to be just on its own?